What's going on, Bulls fans? We got injury updates for tomorrow's game against the Orlando Magic. Two key Bulls reserve players could be out in that game. We're going to talk about it all and more, but you know what we got to do first? Got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. It's a breaking news episode. We got new details coming out about the Chicago Bulls. So it seems like Jalen Smith and Lonzo Ball are now listed as questionable for tomorrow's game against the Orlando Magic. But with Lonzo Ball, it has nothing to do with his knee. It's a sore right wrist that's listing him as possibly being out in that game against the Orlando Magic. That's fair there. I'm not too mad at that when it comes down to it, right? As long as Lonzo Ball isn't having any setbacks with his knee. Keep in mind, when you're back on the NBA court after being out so long, your whole body is adjusting. So if Lonzo's experienced some wrist soreness or whatever it is, that is also a byproduct of him being out of the game of basketball for so long. But it's no knee concerns, no issues with his knee, nothing there, no setbacks. So if he ends up missing the game because of a right wrist injury, we're not too worried about that. We're not going to worry about that at all. So with Lonzo, nothing too major there. With Jalen Smith, it is listed as a left ankle sprain with Jalen Smith. Now that's a little bit more concerning considering that he's a big guy, right? 6'9" with that over 7-foot wingspan. And so with lower body injuries with big men, it can end up being something that lingers on for a little while, right? So again, not necessarily something that will, but it is just that little bit of concern there. Luckily, the Chicago Bulls do have Adama Sanogo, who's on a two-way contract, who I do think is ready for some NBA minutes if Jalen Smith does go down. It's not guaranteed that Billy Donovan's going to use Adama Sanogo. He's been very comfortable using Patrick Williams as a small ball center. That could continue when it comes down to things like that. So we'll see how things go for the Chicago Bulls. But overall, Jalen Smith and Lonzo Ball have both been very important to what the Chicago Bulls do as far as off the bench. Lonzo has been impacting the game of basketball, even when his shot is not falling, with his assists, with his rebounds, things like that. Of course, his defense and basketball IQ. And Jalen Smith, just with his activity at that big man position, putbacks, getting out in transition, his three-point shooting has been really needed for the Chicago Bulls as well. And so we'll see how those things start going along for the team. Overall, nothing to be overly concerned about. Is listed as questionable. It's early in the season. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So even if the Bulls are sitting those guys down for more precautionary reasons, it's not really a big deal. It's not really something to be freaked out or worried about with these guys. Yes, we do want them both out on the court. Yes, they are both important to the Chicago Bulls. Yes, they both can make big impacts, especially against a game like the Orlando Magic. But even if the Bulls end up losing the game and we say, hey, if they would have had a little bit more punch off the bench, they might have won that game. It's still worth it to have to safeguard the longevity of the health of your players. And this new Bulls medical staff, because we do have a new medical staff, has been very focused on making sure that these players are healthy and ready to go as soon as possible. Come on, son. So my son got a new motorized scooter today, so he's ready to go outside and ride it. It goes about, how fast does it go? 19 to 21 miles per hour. It's like the little scooters that you get downtown. So the fact that this news dropped right before I was about to go take him for a scooter ride, he's sitting over my shoulder. That's the angel and devil on my shoulder, ready to go. We're going to be ready soon, son. I promise, like 2 more minutes, all right? Can I go? No, you can't go ride it without me. Not the first time. Because if you ride up and down 20 miles per hour on that scooter and run into somebody, that's going to come on me. All right? So just give me a second, all right, boy? Now, you going to leave me hanging? I'll be done in a second. It's not like a live streamer. I mean, a post game show. Go ahead. You want to tell the people hi? Come on. Say what up. Talk to the mic. Hi. All right, Buddha. I'll be done in a second. All right. Love you. So yeah, I mean, that's no big deal when it comes down to that, man. And so this is just again updates. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. So I got to give you the guys the updates as they come. This one just came down from KC Johnson. About an hour ago, I think? About 23 minutes ago, this came down from KC Johnson. So just wanted to bring you guys those updates in regards to it. No, I'm not concerned. Right now, could this develop into something more maybe down the road? Yeah, it's a possibility. I'm just not too worried about it when it comes down to it. We'll see what it comes down to. So let's see. a chance for Sanogo, Buzelis, but we will miss Jalen's rebounding and threes. I mean, yeah, and it's a chance to open up some more minutes for some guys, and we'll see what that brings along. Now, even when Lonzo was set, the Bulls haven't really played Modest Buzelis too much more. I think if they're going to play anybody more, maybe Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips, but we'll see what that brings along. BKR Sports says Jalen Smith is out is tough. He's been one of the best this season across and consistent period. Really underrated. Listen, the deal that the Bulls got Jalen Smith on at a little over $9 million per year. It continually looks like more and more of a steal as the days go by, because it's a great value for what Jalen has brought to this team. Glad it's not knee related. Had me worry, not go. Oh, it had me worried too. When the notification first came through, of course I went, and you do that thing where you wince, you kind of expect it to maybe be the knee. It's not the knee, and so that's really good when it comes down to it. Enjoy your time with your son, man. Thanks for the updates. You already know I'm always going to bring the updates here. This is why I wasn't worried about Buzelis minutes, because trades and our injuries always going to happen. I mean, and the thing is that I like what they're doing with Buzelis is that they are giving him minutes, right? They're not Dalen Terrying him. And I said this on today's daily episode. Modest Buzelis is just as raw as Dalen Terry was. But he does have a very higher upside, which means that he has more potential, but he's just as raw, right? He doesn't shoot the ball well. He can do a little of everything as far as dribbling, rebounding, shot blocking, all that type of stuff. His on-ball defense is not really good. His off-ball is ahead of his on-ball defense. And so I'm just glad that this coaching staff is getting him some type of minutes. Now, one could say, how much developing are you doing with averaging, 7 minutes per game? But, he's getting out there. He's getting into the NBA game. He's filling out the NBA rhythm. And it's still the first 2 weeks of the season. Who knows? By the end of the first month of the season, by the end of December, Modest Buzelis may have shown, all right, now start giving me 8, then start giving me 10 minutes. Now we're at 12, right? So, it's going along. We'll see how it goes. More development for the young guys. That's a great point, Alexander, for sure. Billy had an interview on 670 AM before the OKC game, had some good info. Yeah, listen, Billy, I know people don't like Billy as like a coach, and they have their issues with Billy Donovan. One thing that I do appreciate about Billy is his transparency. Billy is the most transparent person in any type of near exec role with the Chicago Bulls that really gives transparency. If you go back and look, every time Billy Donovan has talked about a player's injury, be it Lonzo over the years or anybody else, it's been true. Like, he's been the guy like, hey, we don't think he's probably going to play for 5 games, whereas the official injury report, like, he's listed as day to day, right? So, it is what it is, man. AK mentioned Modest could get 5, 10, 15, depends on Modest and his growth. Exactly. And, it is what it is. Go enjoy it, Dad, man. We'll catch up on the next episode. With that being said, we need a video footage of you on the scooter. I ain't getting on the scooter. You're not going to see my fat ass on the scooter. Like, it could. Like I said, if you guys ever go in like any downtown metropolitan area where they have those scooters that you can rent and go downtown, like, it's basically what it is. He owns his own now. It's his birthday present. It took forever to get here. His birthday was like September 25th. It took like a month to be delivered. It's like, did y'all wait to make it till I ordered the motherfucker? But nonetheless, it's here now. We about to go have fun. But that's my time, guys. I love you guys, man. Make sure you guys follow the channel at Bull Central Pod. You guys can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that's thanks to you lovely and beautiful people. And I'll see you guys in any other news drops. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See Red. Peace, y'all. You already know what it is.
Presentation of the Break Media.